Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mystery Red Reads. I'm your host, Mystery Red, and this is my disclaimer. This beta read in concrete is at the author's request. This video is for learning purposes. Today we're looking at a piece of original fiction. We are back with Crystal Committee looking at, we're at chapter 16B of Infinite Shades. And this is going to be Read B of 16B. I'm picking up where I left off. I have a playlist for all of my repeat authors. Well, the ones that are not private. And you can go there and view and follow along the entire story from the beginning if you like. If you're new here, welcome. I do beta reads and concretes of people's original fiction and their fan fictions by request. And yes, I do private videos. I do 30-minute reads. And my first chapter reads are free, and then each chapter after that is $5. Okay, so we're gonna jump right back in. Turn this off. Okay, I'm gonna back up just a little bit to see if we can get some context where we left off. Okay. I guess we're just gonna dive in, and it's gonna take me a minute to remember what was happening. I'm gonna go back too far. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna start my timer. 30 minutes, and here we go. That would come from us, your team. Sorry, I mean the team. Thanks for that. Keep going. This feels good for both of us, especially with the memory tsunami thing. She pats him on the leg. Okay, I want to learn about your coping mechanisms, like gamers playing the same game but trying different approaches. They chat, share, and test each other's methods. Close? Do you need confirmation that you are? I think I do. Then you are. Did you just placate me? Contrary. The call to Amanda, any fan would call it a big moment, and you decided to let it pass. Can you answer why? I'm sure you get it. How the what is automatic, but you have to work for the why. A child near the waterline stacks rocks, aligning each piece with care. A wave rolls in, toppling the tower. Unbothered, the child gathers new ones and starts again. Sam points toward them. Failure isn't the end, just a chance to learn and rebuild. Riley watches, then twists towards her. Yeah, I know you get it. I'm still betting on the host. The other H's might be you dealing with BPD, but that could be how they dismiss you as loco. Fill me in someday? Maybe I can help you parse it, help pick that path through the forest. Nice relation there. Yeah, I think I found one. I got the story. The bridge collapse, you in the hospital. I looked into it with a tab because you dropped the hint. She's got skeletons. Sam chuckles. One might say. Are you... Anyone who knows us would reach the same conclusion. We went through hell and high water together, and most of that is classified for a reason. Your phone? The obvious. I didn't want to be bothered. Besides, she smirks. It's a damper when the boss calls in the middle of a tantrum. Was that an opening to ask what that was about? Pretty much. I get Wraith and Detective Bryant, but Lassiter and the 20-headed Hellbeast, that one's new. Understated the number of heads. I'm getting a Hydra vibe in my mind. Just kind of like got a visual of Hydra with all the multiple heads. Okay. Sorry. Understated the number of heads. I'm just now realizing, okay, I feel like, never mind. I gotta stay focused. Understated the number of heads, Sam snickers, then rubs her hands over her face as a gull swoops low, snatching a piece of food from a distracted child. The child wails, drawing the attention of nearby parents. Why the need to disconnect and clear the cache before plotting how to slay the dragon? Riley glances at the ruckus before his eyes shift back to Sam. Tried before. Epic fail. Couldn't have been that epic. You're here. There's some truth in that. Chavez, into position and doing what needs to be done. Do you think I manipulated you? Bad choice of words. We're part of the butterfly effect. Or linchpin theory. Millions of variables. Just thinking about it makes my head hurt. Sam nods. It does, but when it's used right, it works. She exhales, watching a squirrel dart along the edge of a picnic table. It hesitates, scanning for threats before grabbing a crumb and bolting back to safety. Riley follows her gaze. Made worse by the rush schedule and pulling us from the academy early. Correct. Briggs, that's Wraith. He was a victim of the explosion downtown. Something he was working on, or the man himself was the starting pistol? One of them. Why me? Lay it out for me, from your perspective, please. Sam smiles, though she already knows what he's after. The team references your phone, speaking like you did, aware I was still on the line, ensuring I ended up here on a park bench watching kids and letting me in on the nature of the beast. And dare I suggest, you weren't entirely truthful when you said you'd see a path. You needed time to process. Uh-huh. And Sam encourages. I'm gonna pause. I want to keep going. As always, the dialogue reads great, but I've got dialogue and I've got a little bit of action enough that, while you're sitting, what are you gonna do, right? You're sitting and you look around, so that's good, and you're showing me what's the surroundings, and it kind of works in very nicely. But what I don't have, internal thoughts. So I think we were in Riley's point of view. I could keep going back to find out, but I believe we're supposed to be Riley's point of view. But as I'm reading all of this, I need to go back a page, because I started noticing it up here, and that would come from us. I'm just going to put right here because it takes a few minutes. What I've been reading for 6 minutes, and so I'm actually going all the way back. I probably should do it further down, but I wanted to kind of mark for you the spot where I started, because this is where I started noticing. Starting here, read down musings in video. Noticed no internal thought. So whoever's point of view I'm in, which I really think it was Riley's, can't entirely remember, but here's the thing. I think about it for a second. I jumped right back in the middle of the chapter, right? The fact that I cannot remember whose point of view it is tells me that I don't have enough internalization from whichever character whose point of view I'm supposed to be in. That's the bottom line. That's the point. So with that, I'm going to get back down here, because otherwise it's reading well, other than that one detail of, what is whoever's point of view it is, which I can't remember. What are their thoughts about this conversation as it's playing out? Okay. And what do they think of the opposite character? Let's see. Where did I lost my spot. This is why I didn't want to stop. Okay. I think I made myself stop. Right. Did I read all the way down here? Yes. Okay. So I am here, and I made myself stop so that to make my observation. Okay. You need my help, but couldn't come out and ask? Sam shrugs, opening her hand and wiggling her fingers for him to continue. You're afraid you might have made or will make a mistake? Yeah, Sam nods, but holds back from further explanation. Riley takes a few moments before he speaks. My memory? A sounding board? I can express what I know. You have classification barriers. Deep but accurate. Honored, but why me? Sam winces. Those 500 words on paper, all bullet pointed, they don't make a person. Are you suggesting? Riley, none of us were supposed to get through. I was on assignment. They kind of forced my hand, but I chose the 4 of you because you had something. I can't explain it to those asking, but we're here. Sorry for poking. Don't be. I walked you out of one minefield and into another. I don't think there's anything wrong with the sentence. I think it just, I think maybe the way that we usually speak, like the typical order of words were slightly rearranged here, and I don't think that it didn't work. I don't think that. I just think I tripped over it because it wasn't the way the words are usually paired together, maybe. Okay, let's try it again. Don't be. I walked you out of one minefield and into another. My gut told me you could deal where all the paper and others said you couldn't. It's up to you. Not gonna ask what could have happened, because it didn't. Good. Sam lets out a muffled chuckle, then explains to avoid a self-critical moment. It's overwhelming. You're super hypersensitive to the cues people give off when emoting, right? And when you're in a serious processing mode, the reverb is distracting, physically painful. Yeah. Makes sense why you're the SAC's go-to for creating teams. Thanks, I try. I'm so tempted by the Yoda speak. Riley grins. Sam lets out a laugh, opening her hand in a subtle go-ahead gesture. There is no try. There is do and do not, he mimics Yoda. We okay? Definitely better, she retorts. Bet you wish you weren't allergic to aspirin right now. Probably could use a few. That's all I got on hand. I'm not. Then color me curious why the comment from Pharmacy Bob and your response. Yet another layer of protection and security in my life? Of what? Not recall. Lying. Get it to become second nature. Getting it to become second nature, a known weakness of mine. She leans closer. I'm terrible at it. Could have fooled me. How many identities do you maintain? Maintain? Just one. Have had or used at one time or another? Can I get away with the vague too many to count defense? Sure. The drug interaction you mentioned that caused your roomie's accident? Is that the connection to the multi-headed beast? You can call her Amanda. You've earned the right. Yes and no. Your genetic anomaly slows your aging, right? Yeah, unless I'm under extreme stress, ages me right up. He's beginning to understand more than he says aloud, the committee whispers. Ah, there we go. So we're in Sam's head, okay? And this is not even Sam's thought. This is the committee's comment, but it immediately tells me we're with Sam because the committee is in Sam's head. So all the way up to here until I finally figured out whose point of view I was in, okay, using XenVideo, just to let you know. And I'm still noting that is not one of Sam's internal thoughts. That is the committee. Be sprouting some gray hair soon? Wouldn't surprise me. When you were legally 17, you passed for it? Whew, that's just innocent curiosity. Explaining me, difficulty level 1000, even more with the crystal, and the crazy committee that comes with it. No, maybe 12 if I was lucky. Injuries and fighting the Hydra got you here, but looking in your let me just trip all over that. Okay. Injuries and fighting the Hydra got you here looking in your 20s, and then some. You said the SAC was a family friend, and national security secrets were involved. Lots of baggage. Working with him long before showing up on Bureau radar? Uh-huh. He was always good about when I was physically little and mentally immature. Kept it away from me, until it wasn't possible anymore. Can't beat 'em, can't run and hide from 'em. Join 'em? Not exactly, but sure. This Lassiter Pharmaceutical, they're the ones, aren't they? Between the digital apocalypse and mislabeled meds, they had their claws in deep. If I dug further, I'd see their name everywhere, wouldn't I? Yeah. And tell me if I'm jumping to an unfounded conclusion here, but Taryn Simmons, our missing persons case, your new partner's old partner, coincidence? I dare say not. I wouldn't either. Good to know. But how come you get a partner and the rest of us newbies don't? I'm special. Right person, right place, right time? I trust Garrett's judgment in these things, but sometimes what comes with it is too much in my business, and I need to step back. This Briggs Wraith has to be involved somehow. Yeah, but the easiest I know of can't share extreme classification. There are other ways, but I'm struggling to make connections. And the ones you have can't bring them to light in the right way? Exactly. Well, I hope things worked out today with me and such. Helps. It does. Better than I was expecting. Care to share? I had your path split at the call to Amanda. When it didn't happen, I started to worry. No net, no backup. It threw me off. I overcorrected trying to place Chavez, and yeah, I think I pushed too far. What exactly did you do? Sam reaches for her phone, cycling through a couple of apps. She opens one and hands it to him with a button waiting. A picture is worth 1,000 words. The video is much better. Riley smiles at the gesture of trust and presses play. He watches Sam's outburst from the precinct. When he's done, he hands it back. Wow, remind me not to get on your bad side. As I said, I think I crossed the line. Chavez was aware it was coming, right? Yeah, but still. Don't beat yourself up. Is that what the media has, that the SAC is concerned about? Could have, she corrects. Not your best moment, but far from your worst. The multiple angles and how fast it got to your phone, your support system is tapped in pretty tightly wherever you go. Has to be, especially when I do stupid shit like this. Not stupid, impressive, believable to the core. Who has the yay-nay approval? Not a who. A what? Riley rolls his eyes in mocking disbelief. I wasn't so far off suggesting there are bots that scour the streams like little white blood cells picking off infections. Great analogy. From what I've been let in on, it was your research into that and Wraith's interest in it that drew the Bureau's attention. Yeah, I got that. I never made it far, though. I was playing with what's attributed to your Amanda's work. fandom stuff? Take it apart, see how it works, and duplicate it? Which part? Her anti-chameleon bug patch, the one the government and others tried to duplicate and epically failed? That was a lot of dollars wasted. Yeah, how far did you get? Enough to know it wasn't just code slapped on a server. That thing ate it alive. Adaptive amongst alive in its intelligence. Almost alive in its intelligence. But to protect itself, it had to be specific to the data it was monitoring. Like Iris, Amanda has those exact thoughts when she saw your work. Share how she got around it? That's her hot proprietary mess. But you're right, adaptive and ever-changing, like it was aware of what it defends. Riley smirks. Why, Tweedledee and Tweedledum let out a huge sigh of relief when they found out it was your tab I was working on. We were in your zone, and you, in the precinct, probably everywhere you go, are a protected entity. Coolness, if you say so. What does it take to get in on the Friends of the Cool People list? None needed, but if you poked around too much, hands slapped without even knowing it, something like that. What if I made the call? Can't say. I stopped plotting once the path was chosen. Amanda would have either answered and been pissed off you had my phone or let them handle it. And if I'd gone the other way, you wouldn't. Indulge me. System Amanda, guardian of data against the chameleon bug. Depending on her mood, Wrath would have covered it pretty well. Riley whistles. Glad I went the way I did. So the system version of Amanda, AI but better? Yeah. Easy in theory, infinitely complicated in practice. Is that what they're calling it now, the chameleon bug? Yeah. Always adapting, blending in, rare, weird, counterintuitive, but it has global implications and never ventured far beyond the Northwest. That's what sparked your curiosity. That and the conspiracies based on truth. There's evidence, but plenty of cover-ups. Don't like conspiracies? Contrary, love them. Tell me about it someday. Sam stretches, standing. Sure, we good here? Yeah, thanks. I know this isn't your usual thing. Anytime, need a ride back? I know I'm almost done down here. I can see that I'm moving toward the end. I think. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'm pausing again because as we get through here, the dialogue is reading well, but it's back and forth. We've got very little wiggling and stretching. Like, it took a while to get to that stretch, and we had nothing happening. No facial expressions, no body language. We had no visuals of surroundings. Nothing changed around them. You know, is it hot? Is it cold? Is it windy? I'm not saying dump all of that in. I'm just trying to give you ideas of something that you could sprinkle in along the way. Just imagine you are there, and what does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? You know, what are her internal thoughts as they're having this conversation? Is she hoping? Is he asking the right questions? Is she happy with how the conversation's going? Does she wish he would say something else? Is she just tired and want to go home? Where is her headspace? And I don't know any of that. And so those are all the things that are missing. We did go back and forth without dialogue tags. I kind of assumed in places who it was that was talking, trying to derive it from who was speaking. But there are a lot of lines consecutively with no dialogue tags, like quite a few. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I should put notes for all of this. I basically they're all musings at the end of where I'm at here. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, we're going to pick up right here, and we're going to keep going. I'm just going to say musings and video at this point right here, because it was a couple of different things I pointed out to the space above. All right, we're going to keep going. Nah, I'm good. Besides, those warrants, about time they show up at the courthouse. This was all a delay tactic? Tiny bit. She holds her fingers barely apart. Big secret? Timing is everything. It's not just what we know, but when and who has access to it. The judges. Not just them, clerks, lawyers, everyone in the office, even the clients calling in. Purposeful, he sent me here, but your location came from your guardian angel. Likely. Didn't know specifics, just trusted it. They'll try to shoot holes in the warrants, lose evidence, and bar us from moving forward because the data's compromised and everything disappears. Exactly. But walking in with hard copies, certified memory, and witnesses, things swing our way. Doesn't that put a target on your back? She senses the depth of his concern. Good possibility. Don't worry about me. And yeah, if you want help. I ramble, you Google, we appease. Deal. You mess with Andrews like this? Not yet, she winks. But it's coming. Retribution for her tests on you? Uh-huh. And Collins, punching bag. I am not. I'll see what I can do. Sam pats him on the back. Okay. So overall, I remember really enjoying this scene between Riley and Sam. I remember Sam feeling tired, and her responses being very short supported that and gave that feeling. So I got my girl, no. I'm having a bunny problem. Okay. Gotta stop the bunny. She's gonna chew on a cord. Yes, so sorry about that. I remember Sam being tired and getting that impression really well, and I also saw your note telling me that I'm gonna get the Sam and Amanda interaction coming up, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I guess that wraps us up here. So the dialogue, as always, reads great. You're missing some dialogue tags, and you're missing some body language and some internalization. I know that sounds like a lot, and you're probably tired of hearing it, but that is all that I noticed was missing for me as your reader through this second half of this chapter. Guys, that wraps up 16B, and that wraps up this video. So I will see you next time on Mystery Red Reads.